Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Wednesday, January 19th, 6:43 a.m., and this week is well underway. Yesterday, the traditional markets took a bit of a dump for sure. It does appear there was some negative volatility there, but the crypto market, I think, held up pretty good against that. Basically, Bitcoin did. So, BitcoinDailyView.com got more for you there. Check it out. All right. Bitcoin leverage flush looms as 30% of supply underwater, report says. So, I linked this. I'll put a link to this over in the live chat right now while we're all chatting here. Boom, let's stick it there. Bam. Okay. Um, in reading through this, it's there. Check it out. It's not bad. It just basically makes the case. It does some Glassnode charts, etc., showing that hey, it might very well be time for a massive, Darth Maul doji to on the daily to kind of wipe a bunch of longs and shorts out. The case can be made that too much derivatives, too much futures, well, too many longs and shorts ultimately hang the market up, where it really can't go either way, which I always think tends to lend towards the bears really more than benefit the longs, the bulls. But regardless, good article, and it makes the point. It just kind of codifies what I think a good number of people are saying or are thinking. I could read this section right here. That's an important level historically and psychologically, says Glassnode. Since May 2020, every time the percentage of Bitcoin supply in profit has dipped close or below to the 70% barrier, it's time for a pullback. So anyway, I won't belabor it. Check it out if you want. You can read through it. It just makes a very good case that could we see, some short-term volatility lower than we might expect. And then also, once that's set, once you kind of sit at 30K for a day, then you blast up to 70 or something like that. Anyway, it could be that the exchanges also, ultimately they only want to deal with so much leverage and such. So won't belabor it, but check it out. I think it's a worthwhile little article. I'll link this one over in the live chat right now. Also, Intel is apparently making a Bitcoin mining chip to save GPUs for gamers. Well, this article, I think, was kind of written by someone who doesn't know really what they're talking about. Bless them. Because just reading through it, the terminology is a little weird in the way they're kind of putting things. But basically, crypto mining is a big deal. And I think, what is it? Oh, who's the one major who makes ASICs? I forget the major one who makes ASICs. One company. A couple make ASICs, but I think the big Bitcoin ASIC, I forget who makes it. Anyway, there's one company I do believe it kind of has that market. So, GPUs for crypto mining, especially, ASIC machines, computers, super quick computers made for just one purpose, like mining one thing, like Bitcoin. So out of the box, you pretty much just put it on the rack, pull it into whatever management you're using and turn it on, and bam, the thing is mining the crap out of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin ASIC miners, I'm sorry, I can't remember the darn name of the one company that kind of has it down, kind of has the market share. But Intel, big player. Could Intel be coming out with a badass, ASIC miner? Interesting. And what does that mean? Well, I can't tell you, but it's damn cool. Anyway, looking at Bitcoin trading volume last 24 hours, I do think that cryptometer.io gives a good idea, and 3.3 billion sounds about right across the big exchanges. So the volume is low, it's crappy, but if you can hit 3 billion or a little bit above, at least the market's doing something. So we definitely have some retail action happening across the big exchanges. Now, Masari.io, which I've not looked at for a while, but I'm going to look at it. I'm going to start looking at it again because it varies a lot from reality, I think, personally. I'll stick this in the live chat. But it says that the 24-hour volume is 11.64 billion. So we'll take that for what it's worth. You've got 3.3 billion here last 24 hours, and here you've got 11 billion. So one of the things is I think this is like avoiding market makers, wash trading, etc., and is looking at real retail volume. And this is probably taking into account like as we say, market makers and stuff like that, wash trading that just creates liquidity on the exchanges. So anyway, these are both worth looking at because they'll both tell us things over time as they change. So basically, 3.3 billion last 24 hours versus 11.6 billion. And there you go. I think this is also very cool here over at cryptometer.io. It shows market buy orders and market sell orders. Interesting. That's definitely going to usually be retail traders for sure. So market buy orders last 24 hours have risen by 7.73%. I can dig that. Market sell orders have risen from have risen 26 point, I guess rises, yeah, risen 26%. So definitely where people are selling more than buying right now. Anyway, we'll keep rocking along. Sorry, I'm a little bit slow this morning. Let me refresh this here. A mix of green and red in the market today. It's not as bad as it was yesterday. Definitely seeing some red but also seeing some green. Theta has been rocking up 14%. Terra is looking pretty good. That's a Luna. Theta Fuel, T Fuel is up like 18%. Safe Moon, old, whatever that means. Anyway, Phantom, FTM, up 5 point something%. Loop up just about 7%. Definitely have some stuff making moves. So let's rock through and check things out. Spot trading volume on Binance and Coinbase. Coinbase over 3 billion. Good. I like that. Binance 14.7 billion. Like I say, you want to see at least 30 billion. 50 billion is better for spot trading, but we are up 10% on Binance last 24 hours, coming in at 14 billion. Coinbase up 8%, coming in at 3.3 billion or so. So we have at least okay trading volume. If you look at the 7-day trend here on, especially on Binance and on Coinbase, it's on the way up. And across all the major exchanges, except for some reason, Binance US, trading volume is going up. That's nice to see. Gosh, FTX.US up 50%, but well, it's pretty low volume exchange. Looking at derivatives, 55 billion, up 11%. That's not bad. 55 billion will do us for the day, but 75 billion will be better. We're not quite in the market yet, so volume is low, but cranking up. Now that's not too awful. Now I'm looking at open interest across the big exchanges, 13.9 billion right now, up 1.67% across the last 24 hours. And as you can see, Binance, it's rolling with a 4.79 billion. I guess that's what that would be as far as longs versus shorts. Open interest, right? I think so. Anyway, there you go. All right. Now, looking at the bulls versus the bears duking it out this morning. And this is a bit of an intuitive read that I look at here when I look at this thing, but looking at the volatility, the kind of shape of the chart and the way things are going. And of course, the around 100 to 200K, those are usually automated trades, believe it or not, by big financial institutions. When you get above that, I usually find those are somewhat hand done. Anyway, definitely we're seeing an effort to push the market one way or the other today. So not seeing too much of a battle, but definitely see some big hands playing. The bears and the bulls, the big whales, the big bulls are not really awake yet. Not seeing too much action there. 69% long, 30% short for a Bitcoin on Binance, for Ethereum on Binance, 71% long, 28% short. Definitely a bit of a long bias there. Looking at the daily, yesterday somehow closed as a green candle. Today is a red candle, so we've lost our kind of upwards momentum on the daily. We're kind of going sideways now on the daily, below all the important moving averages like 50, 200, 314, or below all those. That isn't so beautiful. Daily MACD is still holding positive, so that does tend to have a bit of a positive. It's definitely a big positive push. Ultimately, that's very good for sentiment, but I would say ultimately one thing that is not good for sentiment is Bitcoin going sideways. Now, as you can see, we are in a spot here. You can see, boom, definitely hanging out with previous support and resistance in the chart. So that's a good thing. Let's fire up a Fibonacci sequence. We'll go right here since that's the low and look at this on the daily. And as you can see, yeah, the thing is we're below the even the 618, like the 618 golden pocket there, could we head down to the 786, for a bounce? We're still looking at that possibility of a 37,000, around there, 37,000, 35,000, whatever, bounce. I mean, if we gave all of our recent gains back, that'd be like 29,000. So who knows? With the amount of longs and shorts that are in, and the chart from Glassstone, if you check that out and look at some of those numbers, could we see like a bounce at the 786 and a wick down to like 30K, then come back up, to wipe out the shorts? Could be. Don't think exchanges won't do that. When you get wrecked, they make money, and especially when you have big players like this, with the amount of the amount of money they have longing and shorting, eventually exchanges are going to just screw you. So anyway, don't be surprised if we see a big old bit of a dump and a Darth Maul doji. Let's just say sorry, I'm moving a little bit slow this morning, but definitely check this article out. Bitcoin leverage flush looms as 30% of supply underwater, report says. I might do a YouTube for just this a little later and just read this and pull up some charts and such and look at that a little bit closer. Just that, because I think it's worth a little bit more deep diving into, because I think that the exchanges might be getting ready to do that. That's just high octane speculation, but take it for what it's worth. All right. Looking at Bitcoin here on the 45-minute chart, as you can see, we're below the 200 moving average. We tried to challenge it yesterday. We could not quite do it. Got rejected. Visited the bottom of the RSI cave. We're pushing again. Indicators are looking a little good. I think we very well might be revving up for a break above the 200 moving average. I have an alert in for that, and I'll kind of be more into trading aggressively when that happens. This, Bitcoin having this much flaccidity and not being able to keep above these important moving averages down here on the 45-minute chart in general tends to screw the alt market. Of course, yes, you do have this. You do have some players definitely making it happen. You just got to find them. And this is kind of where I go right here is the Bitcoin, livebitcoincharts.com. I'll put this in the live chat. This is really, it's also over at bitcoindailyview.com. You can find it there and link to it. But I think it's important. You just got to try hard to find the good ones. I have a scanner I'll look at too, for new things that are starting to move. But let's look at theta. Let's look at theta as we move along. Sorry, try to keep this flowing. Anyway, 4-hour chart, as you can see, going way back to like the 20th of July, where I started this Fibonacci sequence. We're noting the 618 golden pocket here. We're below it, until we get above this 45-minute chart 200 moving average here, which is right around 42,700, and we can get back in the 618 pocket for the 4-hour chart at least, or above the 618, especially above this 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart, which is right around 46,000 basically. Sorry, but Bitcoin is basically, I mean, look at that. We're going to give it back until we're done giving it back. That's just the way it is. But you can still make money. One of the things I want to do definitely stress is you can still make money. If I can find the damn chart, here you go. There's stuff making moves. You can trade it against Bitcoin. You can trade it against USDT, USDC, whatever. So there's still money to be had. So let's rock through these charts here. Looking at Ethereum, it's trying to push like Bitcoin is doing. It's doing about the same thing. That's fine. Ethereum versus Bitcoin. That trade is shit too. No love there. Litecoin is doing well. Fell from grace. It's trying to push. ADA is definitely an interesting one. Check this out. Okay. It definitely has dumped some with Bitcoin's volatility. I want to note this. W's equal win. Okay. So maybe we're going to see that. It had the Bitcoin is like, crushing the friggin' alt market right now with this friggin' shenanigans, makes it hard to trade alts, makes it easy to short, I guess, if you want. But at the same time, look at this. It did go down to the bottom of the RSI cave and bounce off the 200 moving average. This is a powerful move. I like what I'm seeing there. And by the way, no, it's fine. Never mind. This is good. This is good. I like this chart. We're in the red right now. We're not exactly where I'd want to be trading. The directional index is in the red, not in the green. ADX is like at 16. Squeeze indicator starting to show some positive momentum. Binary candles are looking good. KRI is going the wrong way. But watch this one. I wouldn't quite trade it yet until we see some velocity. But still, ADA with the good news with its new, gosh, a lot of great news when it comes to ADA. Crypto Lark on YouTube. You can look at his YouTube channel. I mentioned it yesterday. Definitely, he covered some of the stuff that Cardano was doing. Cardano is making things happen, and it's been running up. Is that over? I don't know. It's staying above the 2 moving average. It balance. It's moving. ADA versus USDT has some fight in it, so it's not just giving up. I like that. Not bad. Let's look at ADA versus Bitcoin. Kind of the same pattern. It stayed well above the 200 moving average. It's kind of moving up sideways now. Indicators don't look too bad. So anyway, ADA, Cardano, it's definitely an alt that to keep an eye on. Rose was cranking, did kind of a fib sequence on it. Looks like it might be doing a .5 bounce right now, but overall its chart's kind of done for at the moment. Sol versus Solana versus USDT. Try to make a push, but it's below the 2 moving average. It's kind of out of the running. Decred, DCR versus BTC. It had that huge pump recently. It's kind of been hanging out in the 786. It's kind of hanging out, bouncing off the 10 moving average. Indicators don't look too bad. Just keeping an eye on it. Might be when it starts moving. ETC versus BTC. I love this one right now. ETC. I love ETH trades versus BTC. Also ETC trades versus BTC. I always like beautiful upwards channel. We moved up yesterday, came down. Are we going to get a 200 moving average bounce? It looks kind of possible. If we could respect this channel, that's good. If it does not go below the 200 moving average, boom. I will tell you what, not financial advice. And the indicators are not completely beautiful for this. The ADX is in the right spot. Directional index. If we can get some green candles there, if the squeeze indicator turns around, if the SME binary candles begin to go blue and rise again, KRI tangent goes up. Look at the stochastic RSI. The tangent is kind of going up. We're kind of in the oversold territory. Wait for us later by Lazy Bear. It's kind of looking positive there. A little early, but I tell you what I'm going to do this morning, very, very likely me do. In fact, I'm going to do it. Is I'm going to put a trade in for this. Not financial advice, y'all. Okay, I'm just saying this is what I'm doing. I'm thinking out loud. I'm going to put a trade in. I'm going to buy. This is high octane speculation. This is one of those dumbass things you probably shouldn't do, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to dump a little bit of money into this. I'm going to do a ETC, buy ETC with BTC. I'm going to put a stop right under the 200 moving average here. Okay. And this thing's either going to move back up, or it's going to dump below the 200 moving average and then it's over. But this channel's been respected and it's not looking too bad. And the indicators don't look that bad. I like it. I like what I'm seeing here. So ETH versus ETC versus BTC. It's something I got to put a stop in for. It's a little bit dangerous, but I'm going to go for it because if we could run back to the top of that channel, and get this here. If we could run to the top of this channel, that's like 8%, And if it decides to do something like this, just kind of, just stay, as long as it stays in that channel, just go with it, Anyway, ETC versus BTC might be a good trade today. So even when Bitcoin is trending down, you got to work hard, but you can definitely find trades, it ain't over. Let's look at some things that we're doing well. I did see Theta versus USDT. It's on Binance and KuCoin. I like that. So most people are on one of those exchanges. Looking at Theta. Woo! It's a 4-hour chart on Theta. Something I like that I'm seeing here with this 4-hour chart is it looks pretty good. Check it out. It's a 4-hour chart. We're getting ready to challenge that 200 moving average in the 4-hour. That would be amazing. If we can get above that, we are definitely bullish for Theta versus USDT. Nice volume coming in. Directional index is in the green. ADX is a little bit low for sure. Squeeze indicator starting to show some momentum. KRI is looking good. Definitely a little bit overbought here on the stochastic RSI. Wait till oscillator by Lazy Bear does show we got some room to move up still. Anyway, I'm not sure. It's kind of interesting. If it can challenge and break this 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart, that might really be very, very bullish. But how far will it go? That is the top of the RSI cave, etc. So this is definitely a spot where it might get rejected. Watch for that retrace or an explosion above. Now, with that said, the 45-minute chart, how's that looking? 45-minute chart, we had these blitzes here. Wonderful. We broke above the 200 moving average. We're moving up. It's beautiful. I mean, the 45-minute chart is very, very positive. I like what I'm seeing. It's always nice to get in at a time like this because, so you watch for these long, 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 give it all back, give it all. Let's see if I can get my arrow to work. Give it all back. Just keep giving it all back and then bam, explode. That is what it's all about. I like seeing that. So we do have alts doing this, so even though Bitcoin's kind of, flaccid right now, you can still make money because that may be the big, that may be how January goes unless Bitcoin starts to really, push hard. When Bitcoin's healthy and happy, it's kind of easy to make money in alt trades. When Bitcoin is not, you can still make money in alt trades. Just got to try harder to find the good trades. So Theta is looking wonderful. I like this chart. This is definitely kind of a buy chart, in my opinion. The only thing is, do look at that 4-hour chart. I got to see what it does here. That's natural resistance right there. Let's see what this thing does. If it can, let's just watch it. We'll maybe visit it later on today. I'll hop on depending on what I'm doing. Let's see how Theta does. I'm not quite ready to get into it. I think we're going to see either a push or a reject here at the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. So 45-minute chart looks good, but the 4-hour chart's probably going to give it a reject. So beware. Who else was kind of kick-ass? Let's look at the chart again. Terra, Luna. Luna was looking good. Let's look at Luna. Luna versus USDT on Binance and KuCoin. Good. Everyone's got one of those. I saw it on Bittrex too. Had a beautiful upwards channel a little while ago that I must have noticed. It broke below. It's bouncing off the 314. It's kind of ranging between the 314 and the 200 here on the 4-hour chart. Once again, that 200 is going to be a bit of resistance for it. This chart looks all right, but let's look at the 45-minute chart here. A little bit. Yeah, on the 45-minute chart, yeah, Luna might be moving up, but just note that it's kind of ranging between the 200 and the 314. Needs to break above this 200, and then it'll be good. The chart really is not too impressive, but not that bad. Anyway, Luna, not too interesting to me, not at least today. Anyway, guys, with that said, remember, for every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, it is the most revolutionary act that a human being can do right now. Bitcoin is definitely a consciousness that has come to this planet to help in the Aquarian evolution of the new age. So I am glad you're here at Bitcoin Truth Seekers. Keep stacking those sats and definitely invest in the optimistic future of this planet and humanity. Thanks for being there. I'll see you guys tomorrow or later if something groovy happens.